Hello, this is Paranormal Girl, and today I'm going to talk about Nikola Tesla, the extraordinary life of a modern Prometheus. Match the following figures: Albert Einstein, Thomas Edison, Guglielmo Marconi, Alfred Nobel, and Nikola Tesla, with these biographical facts. They spoke 8 languages, produced the first motor that ran on AC current, developed the underlying technology for wireless communication over long distances, held approximately 300 patents, claimed to have developed a superweapon that would end all war. The match for each, of course, is Tesla. Surprised? Most people have heard his name, but few know much about his place in modern science and technology. The 75th anniversary of Tesla's death on January 7th provides a timely opportunity to review the life of a man who came from nowhere, yet became world famous. Claimed to be devoted solely to discovery, but relished the role of a showman, attracted the attention of many women but never married, and generated ideas that transformed daily life and created multiple fortunes, but died nearly penniless. His early years. Tesla was born in what is now Croatia on a summer night in 1856 during what he claimed was a lightning storm, which led the midwife to say he will be a child of the storm, and his mother, to counter prophetically, said no of the light. As a student, Tesla displayed such remarkable abilities to calculate mathematical problems that teachers accused him of cheating. During his teen years, he fell seriously ill. Recovering once, his father abandoned his demand that Nikola became a priest and agreed he could attend engineering school instead. Although an outstanding student, Tesla eventually withdrew from the Polytechnic School and ended up working for the Continental Edison Company, where he focused on electrical lighting and motors. Wishing to meet Edison himself, Tesla immigrated to the US in 1884, and he later claimed he was offered the sum of $50,000 if he could solve a series of engineering problems Edison's company faced. Having achieved the feat, Tesla said he was then told that the offer had been just a joke, and he left the company after 6 months. Tesla then developed a relationship with 2 businessmen that led to the founding of the Tesla Electric Light and Manufacturing. He filed a number of electrical patents, which he assigned to the company. When his partners decided that they wanted to focus strictly on supplying electricity, they took the company's intellectual property and founded another firm, leaving Tesla with nothing. Tesla reported that he then worked as a ditch digger for $2 a day, tortured by the sense that his great talent and education were going to waste. Success as an inventor. In 1887, Tesla met 2 investors who agreed to back the formation of the Tesla Electric Company. He set up a laboratory in Manhattan where he developed the alternating current induction motor, which solved a number of technical problems that had bedeviled other designs. When Tesla demonstrated his device at an engineering meeting, the Westinghouse Company made arrangements to license the technology, providing an upfront payment and royalties on each horsepower generated. The so-called War of the Currents was raging in the late 1800s. Thomas Edison promoted direct current, asserting that it was safer than AC. George Westinghouse backed AC, since it could transmit power over long distances. Because the two were undercutting each other's prices, Westinghouse lacked capital. He explained the difficulty in asking Tesla to sell his patents to him for a single lump sum, to which Tesla agreed, foregoing what would have been a vast fortune had he held on to them. With the World's Columbian Exposition of 1893 looming in Chicago, Westinghouse asked Tesla to help supply power. They'd have a huge platform for demonstrating the merits of AC. Tesla helped the fair illuminate more light bulbs than could be found in the entire city of Chicago, and wowed the audiences with a variety of wonders, including an electric light that required no wires. Later, Tesla also helped Westinghouse win a contract to generate electrical power at Niagara Falls, helping to build the first large-scale AC power plant in the world. Challenges along the way. Tesla encountered many obstacles. In 1895, his Manhattan laboratory was devastated by a fire, which destroyed his notes and prototypes. At Madison Square Garden in 1898, he demonstrated wireless control of a boat, a stunt that many branded a hoax. Soon after, he turned his attention to the wireless transmission of electric power. He believed that his system could not only distribute electricity around the globe, but also provide for worldwide wireless communication. Seeking to test his ideas, Tesla built a laboratory in Colorado Springs. There, he once drew so much power that he caused a regional power outage. He also detected signals that he claimed emanated from an extraterrestrial source. In 1901, Tesla persuaded J.P. Morgan to invest in the construction of a tower on Long Island that he believed would vindicate his plan to electrify the world. Yet, Tesla's dream did not materialize, and Morgan soon withdrew his funding. In 1909, Marconi received the Nobel Prize for the development of radio. In 1915, Tesla unsuccessfully sued Marconi, claiming infringement on his patents. The same year, it was rumored that Edison and Tesla would share the Nobel Prize, but it didn't happen. Unsubstantiated speculation suggested their mutual animosity was the cause. However, Tesla did receive numerous honors and awards over his life, including, ironically, the American Institute of Electrical Engineers, and he had the Edison Medal. A singular man. Tesla was a remarkable person. He said that he had photographic memory, which helped him memorize whole books and speak 8 languages. He also claimed that many of his best ideas came to him in a flash. And then he saw detailed pictures of many of his inventions in his mind before he ever set about constructing prototypes. As a result, he didn't initially prepare drawings and plans for many of his devices. The 6'2" Tesla cut a dashing figure and was popular with women, though he never married, claiming that his celibacy played an important role in his creativity. Perhaps because of his nearly fatal illness as a teenager, he feared germs and practiced very strict hygiene, likely a barrier to the development of interpersonal relationships. He also exhibited unusual phobias such as an aversion to pearls, which led him to refuse to speak to any woman wearing them. Tesla held that his greatest ideas came to him in solitude, yet he was no hermit, socializing with many of the most famous people of his day at elegant dinner parties he hosted. Mark Twain frequented his laboratory and promoted some of his inventions. Tesla enjoyed a reputation as not only a great engineer and inventor, but also a philosopher, poet, and a connoisseur. On his 75th birthday, he received a congratulatory letter from Einstein and was featured on the cover of Time magazine. Tesla's last years. In the popular imagination, Tesla played the part of a mad scientist. He claimed that he had developed a motor that ran on cosmic rays, that he was working on a new non-Einsteinian physics that would supply new form of energy, that he had discovered a new technique for photographing thoughts, and that he had developed a new ray, alternately labeled the death ray and the peace ray, with vastly greater military potential than the Nobel's munitions. His money long gone, Tesla spent his latter years moving from place to place, leaving behind unpaid bills. Eventually, he settled in at a New York hotel where his rent was paid for by Westinghouse. Always living alone, he frequented the local park where he was regularly seen feeding and tending to the pigeons, with which he claimed to share a special affinity. On the morning of January 7th, 1943, he was found dead in his room by a hotel maid at the age of 86. Today, the name Tesla is still very much in circulation. The airport in Belgrade bears his name, as does the world's best-known electric car, and the magnetic field strength of MRI scanners is measured in Teslas. Tesla was a real-life Prometheus, the mythical Greek titan who raided heaven to bring fire to mankind, yet in punishment was chained to a rock where each day an eagle ate his liver. Tesla scaled great heights to bring lightning down to earth, yet his rare cast of mind and uncommon habits eventually led to his downfall, leaving him nearly penniless and alone. Next, I'm going to read about what happened at Nikola Tesla's secret experimental station. Science and technology enthusiasts remember Nikola Tesla as one of the quintessential American inventors, blending brilliance and dedication with just a touch of crazy. Born in modern-day Croatia in 1856, he would later become a naturalized American citizen, and it was in America where he invented an induction motor based on alternating current and spearheaded the use of alternate current to electrify the world. While Nikola Tesla is a fond memory now, in 1899 he was an ambitious 43-year-old with a grandeur idea. To develop that idea, he left his bustling New York City home and headed west to Colorado. There, with $30,000 in cash from the prominent millionaire businessman John Jacob Astor, who would later famously perish on the Titanic, he set about creating cold light bulbs, essentially forerunners to fluorescent bulbs, to replace the incandescents. Well, that's what he told Astor, at least. In reality, Tesla thought he could transmit wirelessly electricity over great distances with essentially no loss, even through the Earth itself. He had traveled to the high-altitude haven of Colorado Springs, where the air was thinner and more conductive, with the promise of free power from the El Paso Power Company to realize his dream. Once there, Tesla erected a wooden experimental station ringed with a fence adorned with the ominous "Keep Out" signs. Jutting from the station was a 142-foot metal mass supporting a large copper ball. Inside was the largest Tesla coil ever built, an electrifying monstrosity 50 feet in diameter. For roughly 9 months, the station was alive with experimentation. He set up an experiment where he had some light bulbs in a field, and they were surrounded in a 50-foot square of wire, and he transmitted power so that an electrical field was created within that wire and the bulbs. John Alcorn, president of the Tesla Science Center at Wardenclyffe, told PBS, Within the confines of his grounded wooden station, Tesla attempted to tune his magnifying transmitter and Tesla coil to Earth's supposed resonance frequency, which he thought would permit worldwide wireless power transfer. It apparently was not uncommon for ball lightning to flit about his laboratory. One night, he even thought he picked up radio signals from outer space through his transmitter. And we know what that was, don't we? That was the Black Knight satellite. Outside, Tesla produced artificial lightning from the station's metal mast. The largest bolt was 135 feet long, and its thunder was reportedly heard 15 miles away. It also knocked out power to all of Colorado Springs and severely damaged equipment at the El Paso Electric Company. Afterwards, his free power came to an end. In January 1900, Tesla concluded his experiments in Colorado Springs, claiming that he could transmit electric power abundantly and cheaply anywhere on the planet. When the great truth is fully recognized that this planet, with all its appalling immensity, is to electric currents virtually no more than a small metal ball, and that by this fact many possibilities, each baffling imagination and of incalculable consequences, are rendered absolutely sure of accomplishment, humanity will be like an ant heap stirred up with a stick. See the excitement coming? Alas, there is little to no evidence that Tesla succeeded, not even in his own meticulous notes. He really thought he was onto something, Peter Fisher, head of the MIT's Department of Physics, told PBS. I think he fooled himself. Tesla is of the school that once he believed he had some evidence for something, he was very quick to promote it, expound it to the world, and not at all interested in challenging it. Tesla's mysterious lab in Colorado Springs was torn down in 1904. His idea for worldwide wireless power never came to fruition. And finally, I'll talk about Nikola Tesla, the secrets of the Philadelphia experiment. Nikola Tesla said, "My brain is only a receiver. In the universe, a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. I have not penetrated into the secrets of this core, but I know it exists." Nikola Tesla was a Croatian-American inventor, electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, and a futurist best known for his contributions to the design of the modern alternating current AC electricity supply system. He is the man who harnessed lightning, a true genius. He envisioned new technologies far before their time and claimed to have had contact with extraterrestrial beings. Nikola Tesla is considered one of the most innovative, mysterious men ever lived. If Tesla hadn't invented and researched everything he did in his time, our technology today would be considerably worse. But is there something more to Tesla? Did he in fact have contact with aliens, as he publicly proclaimed? He is one of the most amazing inventors of our civilization has ever known. His knowledge and ideas went far and beyond what was known and accepted in his lifetime. October 28, 1943 was the date of one of the most significant scientific experiments in history, the so-called Philadelphia experiment. The goal was to make ships invisible to radar, but the result exceeded all expectations. Placed in a powerful electromagnetic field, the U.S. Navy destroyer Eldridge disappeared not only from the screens, but also from our reality. The ship materialized once again hundreds of miles from Philadelphia at the military base in Norfolk, Virginia, with a crazed crew on board. Just before his death, Nikola Tesla was working with another genius, Albert Einstein, on a project for the United States Navy at the Philadelphia Naval Yard, where they were trying to create an electromagnetically charged invisibility cloak for the USS Eldridge. The experiment was allegedly based on an aspect of the unified field theory, a term coined by Albert Einstein. The unified field theory aims to describe mathematically and physically the interrelated nature of the forces that comprise electromagnetic radiation and gravity. Although to date no single theory has successfully expressed these relationships in viable mathematical or physical terms. All records of the tragedy have been kept secret, but there was a rumour linking the experiment with the great inventor Nikola Tesla, who supposedly made all the necessary calculations and drawings and provided generators that were used for the teleportation of the Eldridge. Tesla wanted a type of zero-point wristband for the sailors on board the Eldridge to ground them during the experiment. Without the wristbands, they could be floating, lost in space and time, or in total disorientation. The government did not want to spend extra money on the wristbands, and Tesla left. After Tesla left the project, Dr. John von Neumann took over. John von Neumann was a Hungarian-born American pure and applied mathematician. He made major contributions in the fields of mathematics, functional analysis, physics, quantum mechanics, economic game theory, computer sciences, self-replicating machines, and statistics. He was a principal member of the Manhattan Project. Tesla had not lived to witness the disaster, and shortly after his death, the FBI confiscated his entire archive. More rumors circulated which indicated that the scientist's death was no accident, and that he had been warned of the danger in arguing with Einstein, ordered to desist from the experiments on human beings, and finally forced to silence.